Good morning, everybody. We're going to start chair yoga here in just a minute. I'll just not crouch down the whole time. Go ahead if you're just tuning in. If you are just tuning in and you haven't done one of our online, hi Jackie, hi Kathy, yogas yet, know that I don't have music playing, so if you want to take a minute to go get music and turn that on, music for your liking, that is awesome. All we need for today is a chair, and I have a mat out because we're going to do standing poses, and our wood floor is really slippery, especially if it's clean. So if you're on a carpet, you may not need your mat. We won't be going down on our mat, but just standing poses. So take a second, get yourself situated. If you do have a block, awesome, you can use that during balance poses if you wish. If you don't have a block, you'd like a book, that's great too. Otherwise, we will start in just a minute. So get your things out, make yourselves comfy. I'll move Kermit the Frog. Alrighty, here. All right, good morning, Anne-Marie. It's awesome. All right, so I am Sheila. I'm a teacher at our awesome Red Wing YMCA. And I hope you know this from all of us at the YMCA. We miss all of you. We miss the life that's in our building, and so we're trying to reach out any way we can. And keep us all connected as we're all trying to do kind of in this crazy time right now, right? So if you haven't done chair yoga before, it is awesome. I have a group I teach typically on Wednesday and Friday mornings at 8. There's about, oh gosh, it varies from maybe 25 to 40 people depending on the day. It is a great option, especially if you don't want to get down on your knees because they're compromised in some way and you have to be extra protective of them, or if you have some wrist issues and you don't want to get down into a plank. So great alternative for either of those. So with that, we will begin. Glad you could all come and spend some time. The other thing I always say is I never remember to cue anybody to take a drink of water or a drink of whatever it is you're drinking at this time. But please just do that. You need to take care of yourself. So, all right, we are going to begin seated. If you have a chair, I just have a regular chair without arms. That works best. If you're in a chair with arms, no worries. Okay, we are kind of scooched forward towards the front of our chair. So your sit bones are near the edge of the chair without slipping off, right? Okay. We have this nice long spine, just as if we were seated on the floor in a yoga flow class, all right? I guess I don't need my glasses there, huh? All right, so let's just start with some shoulder rolls, bringing those shoulders up to the ears and down and back and really releasing. The great thing about everything we do in the chair is it's something you can do anytime, whether you're practicing like we are right now, or whether you are seated in the chair watching TV, or some of these you can do while you're driving. I should correct that. If you're the passenger, you can do them. Otherwise, perhaps let's not do them while we're driving. But while you're being the passenger, you can do that. All right, go ahead and reverse those shoulder rolls, bringing those shoulders up to the ears and forward, really letting your arms find some movement in that. Still keeping this nice long spine, this belly is pulled in, tail is slightly tucked, all right? Now let's go ahead and let those hands rest for a minute. And we're just gonna loosen up our neck a little bit, all right? So slowly you can choose either side, one ear float towards one shoulder. And you just feel this muscle in the side of your neck, hopefully slowly releasing. Now maybe you want to bring your hand up to your head to gently just apply a little pressure. You're welcome to, you don't need to. Maybe you want to add the opposite hand out to the side, really wiggle those fingers to activate that muscle going all the way up from your fingertips up to your shoulders. If you choose to flex your hand for a minute, you'll feel a different stretch as well. And of course, keep breathing. Now let's release that hand, release that arm, roll those shoulders once or twice, and we're gonna move to the opposite side. So go to the opposite side, letting that opposite ear float to that opposite shoulder. Maybe you wanna add that hand. Maybe you wanna let those fingers go out to the side, wiggle them a little bit to get them moving. Keep that belly pulled in, spine is long. Now maybe you want to flex those fingers, okay? That works well too. Awesome. All right, now let's come back to center, releasing those down. Let's do a big inhale. Inhale those arms up overhead, and on an exhale, release and really activate those arms. It's as if you're pushing through water when you go up and you go down, okay? So again, a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. And one more deep inhale. Keeping that long spine. And a deep exhale. All right. Now we are going to take just a moment to kind of come home to our breath, as I often call it. So let your hands float gently to any place on your lap. If you want to close your eyes, great. If you want to keep them open, that's fantastic as well, all right? And let's just take a minute while we take a really deep breath, and you're gonna do it following your own rhythm, but think about filling up that lower belly as you inhale, and then feeling up those ribs all the way up to the chest. So you're just bringing air all the way in. And when you get it up to the top, you just release it all. Let that big breath come out. And again, just a really slow, deep inhale. And fill up. Use that whole cavity that, right, we don't often use. We often use, sometimes, especially in times of stress, which we might be under now, just saying. We sometimes just will breathe from that upper chest. So really just on these few breaths, try to do that. Not the upper chest, the full belly. And now we're going to do a few of our one-to-one breaths, which I know we do quite a bit, but they're great for calming the mind, whether you're doing yoga or you're seated or you're standing in a line, whatever you're doing. So do a good exhale and let all that air out. And then as you inhale in your head, well, I guess you can do it out loud because you're probably alone. Inhale, count as you fill up that whole cavity, and keep counting as you slowly inhale. And then when you get up to the top, just pause for a second, and then slowly exhale to that same count. And I'm going to ask you to do a few more of those while I share our quote for today. From L. Knott is who wrote this, and entitled "Life is Amazing." Just continue to breathe in that one-to-one pattern, or float into your own breath pattern right now. Life is amazing, and then it's awful, and then it's amazing again. And in between amazing and awful, it's ordinary and mundane and routine. So breathe in the amazing. Hold on through the awful, and relax and exhale during the ordinary. That's just living a heartbreaking, soul-healing, amazing, awful, wonderful, ordinary life. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. I chose this quote for today because I think we're in we hear the term uncharted a lot, right? We're in this uncharted place where sometimes things seem mundane, sometimes things seem ordinary, sometimes you're seeing magical things happen around you, kindnesses of other folks. And I like that this reminded us to just breathe through it, to keep breathing, keep moving forward through the ordinary, through the mundane, through the parts that seem awful, because it's part of our amazing, beautiful, ordinary life. All right, now let's just continue to transition to getting our whole body warmed up, all right? So we've warmed up our neck a little bit. Let's just gently let our chin float to our chest. Feel free to open your eyes if they were closed. And continue that breathing throughout. Now let's go ahead and bring our head center. Inhale those arms up high. And if it's available to you, go ahead and lace your hands behind your head so you've got your elbows out to the side. All right. Hands can also just be touching your ears if that feels better, okay? Keep that belly pulled in. Take a deep inhale and lengthen that spine. And on an exhale, let's just bring our elbows closer together, tucking our chin to our chest. Inhale, open those elbows, open that heart. Exhale. Let's bring those elbows in, chin to chest. Again, on your inhale, open wide. Exhale, let's bring that chin to the chest as we bring those elbows closer together. Inhale, open wide. Exhale. Drop that chin to the chest. All right, now let's release those arms down to the side. Let's continue to open up our shoulders with our eagle arms, all right? So 2 options for this. I'll show you both. When you're ready, we've got this nice long spine, sit bones are grounded, and we inhale out to the side, and on the exhale, take one of your arms, wrap it underneath the other arm as you wrap up your arms together. Okay, so you've got these eagle arms. Then you slowly lift those elbows about to shoulder height. The other option when you do that is bringing your arms across in the hug position, okay? So one hand is on each shoulder and elbows are lifted to shoulder height, and breathe. So whichever one you're in, continue to breathe. All right, still there? All right, now let's go ahead and release those arms. We're gonna bring them behind our back, so you might have to bend forward just a little bit, clasping your arms behind your back. You're gonna roll your shoulders down and back and begin to straighten your arms so you're opening your heart, okay? I'm gonna just do this sideways for a minute. All right, if this is not as comfortable for you, you can also grab opposite elbow with the opposite hand. Okay, so whichever you prefer, we're opening that heart, we're lifting that gaze and continuing to breathe. Okay, we're keeping this nice long spine. Now let's go ahead and release that down, and we're going to move to eagle on the other side, right? We always want to balance both sides. So inhale those arms out to this side, and on the exhale, if you can remember, which sometimes I can't, take your opposite arm under your opposite hand, and you just wrap them up or twizzle them up. The backs of your hands can touch, your palms can touch, your hands can be on your shoulders, whichever you prefer. Then lift those elbows and feel that great opening in the shoulders, in the back, okay? So we've got this awesome pose either here or here. Keep that nice long spine, belly's pulled in, continue to breathe. Now slowly in this pose, go ahead and move your arms to one side, cross midline while you move your head to the opposite side for a different stretch. Now come back to center, letting your arms go the opposite way. The same thing works if you're in that gentle hug. Now, whichever position you're in, let's go ahead and release those arms. We're going to bring them behind our back one more time for a heart opener. So we're going to roll those shoulders down and back, straighten those arms, lift that gaze, open that heart. Again, another option is opposite elbow, Or you can grab onto the backs of your chair. We're opening the shoulders, opening the heart. Okay, so you can also just grab onto the back of your chair. Lots of great options with your chair. The chair is our friend. All right, it sounds like a public service announcement, doesn't it? All right, let's go ahead and release that down. Now, let's inhale those arms up center again, and as you inhale, activate those fingers, activate those muscles, and exhale down. Inhale up, and exhale down. Now, third time, inhale up, keep those feet flat on the floor, exhale down. Now we're going to inhale and sweep our arms forward, and I want to flip those wrists as we come back down. Awesome. So inhale, lift and flip those wrists, come back down. Third time, inhale, flip those wrists, and we're going to come about to shoulder height. All right, now choose either hand, and we're just going to do some gentle stretches. So you can gently pull those fingers back towards you, right? Keeping that long spine. Then go ahead, if you wish. Our second position is our fingers are towards the ground, okay? And we're just gently pushing. Gently, very gently. It's a gentle wrist stretch. I think I've said gentle too many times. All right, now third one, if you wish, is to flip your palm open as if you're offering somebody something and pull those fingers back. Again, all options, depending on what feels good for you. Great stretch to do anytime during the day, especially if you've been doing computer work, you've been doing crafts, anything where you're using your hands a lot. Let's switch to the other side. Start with your, I call this my stop in the name of love, right? Stop in the name of love. I won't sing the whole time. All right, gently pulling those fingers back towards you. Then flip those fingers down to the ground and gently push on the front of that hand. And third position, if you want, go ahead and open it up and then gently pull those fingers back a little ways. Awesome, now release that down. Let's inhale up one more time, and just on the way down, let's get those wrist rolls. All right. Awesome. Okay, now let's heel toe those feet just more, I would say, hip distance apart or a little further if you wish. We're going to plant one hand on one thigh, inhale the other arm up, and on an exhale, we're opening into that lateral bend. Okay, so breathe into this side body, really finding length here. Pull that belly to the spine. You can also take your hand and put it on the side of the chair if you prefer. Now pull that belly to the spine. Let's come on through. Allow that arm to release as the other arm comes up and over. Again, your hand can be on your thigh. It can be on the side of the chair. Keep that heart open towards the sky. Awesome. Pull that belly in and let's come back down. Now let's just heel toe our feet apart a little bit further into horse feet or goddess feet. So if that's available to you, go ahead and heel toe those apart, and we're going to do that same stretch and we'll have a little different feeling. Plant one hand, inhale the other hand up, let it float over and really feel that opening in that side body. Okay, when we begin, we always want to use our spine in all 6 directions and really loosen it up. Now pull that belly to the spine, so lift yourself from your abs. Let that arm float down, bring that other one up and over. All right, now pull that belly to the spine, come on forward. Now, to get more movement in that spine, we are going to move into a goddess circle or a horse circle, though I don't know if a horse circles. All right, so we keep those feet in goddess feet, all right? Whatever level is comfortable, and we are just going to begin by bending and really finding this big circle. Think of cow, and then as you come through the back, you kind of think of cat, where you're rounding your back a little bit. Okay, we're just finding lots of movement. Fantastic. All right. And after you've come back through the middle, make sure to just switch directions, right? We always have one direction we tend to go or one side we're more comfortable with. Just to get that movement. Fantastic. All right, now let's make that movement a little smaller by bringing our feet a little bit closer. Come back to the edge of your chair, all right? And we're just gonna do some seated cows and cats. So a little bit narrower movement. So on an inhale, we are gonna drop our belly and lift our gaze for cow. Mooing is optional. On the exhale, we're gonna tuck our chin, round that spine. Think of your spine as that Halloween cat. Inhale, drop that belly, lift that gaze. Exhale, tuck that chin, round that spine, find your Halloween cat. All right, let's continue to do a few of those. Moving at your own pace, at your own breath. Awesome, and when you're ready, come on back through center. Find your long, strong spine, neutral spine. And our last warm-up before we move into some half sun salutations is going to be a gentle spinal twist. So go ahead and inhale those arms out to this side. And on the exhale, begin twisting first from your belly, then through your ribs, then through your shoulders. If you're like me, you might be a little too close to a wall, so you've got to, maybe I have to do my cactus arms to get my spinal twist, all right? You can let your back arm come down, your front arm can come to the outside of your knee. We're keeping that long spine. So as we inhale, we lengthen that spine, and as we exhale, maybe we deepen that twist. Think of it as we're just wringing out a rag, a dish rag, a sponge. We're wringing out that spine gently and intentionally. Now let's bring our gaze back to center, gently untwist that spine, moving to the other side. Inhale those arms out to the side. On the exhale, depending on what room you have, twist first through your belly, then let your ribs go, then let your shoulders go, all right? Maybe that backhand comes down to the back of your chair. Keep your gaze towards the back of the chair. And as you inhale, continue to find length in that spine, keep that belly pulled in, and as you exhale, maybe slightly twist deeper. Awesome, now let's bring our gaze back to center and go ahead and release that out. We are gonna move into some standing poses, all right? You can always keep your chair handy because we're gonna use it for balance and other things, but right now we're gonna move into some half sun salutation. So go ahead and find a comfortable spot to stand. I have Meyer, my trusty photographer, helping me out here. Thanks, Meyer. He's getting yoga workouts every day, whether he wants to or not, right? All right, so let's go ahead and make sure those feet are ground into the floor. We're lifting through our arches, activating our legs all the way up. So when we're in this Tadasana, this mountain pose, right? Our shoulders are rolled down and back, our heart's open, belly is tucked in, tail is tucked under, feet are active, all right? So now moving into some sun salutations, let's inhale all the way up. Feel that length, and on an exhale, we're just gonna gently fold forward into that forward fold. All right, so let those hands come down as far as they like. If you wish, this is another spot you can use your chair too. As you're in that forward fold, maybe your hamstrings are super tight, so maybe you wanna put your hands on the chair. I'm gonna move that over a little bit so you can see. Maybe you wanna put your hands on the chair. Move my tea so I don't spill that. Okay, so in this forward fold, really let that head release. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head no. Come back to yes. Maybe you want to put a good sized bend in those knees. Maybe your hamstrings are really tight right now, right? And they'll loosen up more as we move. Let those hands come down to wherever they naturally fall, all right? All right, now from here, we're going to walk our hands up to find our halfway lift, all right? So when we find our halfway lift, we're looking for this long, straight spine. Shoulders are away from our ears. Our gaze is down. Awesome, you're kind of a big number 7. Now release into that forward fold again. Now let's bend those knees and we're going to circle sweep those arms coming up to our tall mountain. Exhale, cactus arms. So open your arms. This is the closest we're going to get to a cactus right now, people. Inhale, heart center, or tall mountain. Exhale, we are going to come into our chair. All right. So in chair pose, right, we've got a bend in our knees. We've got our feet can be touching or hip distance apart. Our butt is back. It's as if we're going to sit in a chair. All right. We've got a slight tuck of our tail underneath. Arms are either at heart center or lifted, okay? Toes are light. You can twinkle your toes. Okay, the majority of your weight, about 80% of your weight, is in the back of your feet, midpoint back of your feet, okay? So just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. We're going to dive down into that forward fold. Inhale to your half lift. Find your number 7 spot. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees. Circle sweep those arms up. Come up to your tall mountain. On the exhale, you're going to let one arm float over for a lateral stretch. Let those hips go out to the opposite side. And breathe. Now pull that belly to the spine, come on up. Let the other arm go over as your hips go out to the opposite side. Now pull that belly in. One more on each side. So just a deeper stretch than maybe what you felt in the chair, or different. Awesome. Now let's bring our hands through to heart center and float down into that forward fold. Now inhale to your half lift, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees, circle sweep those arms up, come up to your tall mountain. Exhale into your cactus arms. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale into your chair, Utkatasana. I have to weave my arms through our dining room light fixture here. I just really don't want to break it. All right, so we're in that chair. We've got a bend in our knees. It's as if we're going to sit down in the chair, right? All right, awesome. Now from here, let's bring our hands to heart center. Dive down into that forward fold. Let that head hang. Inhale to that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees, circle sweep those arms up, find your tall mountain. Exhale into just a baby back bend. Okay, you've got a little arch right now, so pull your belly in. Just a little arch, come back to center. Come down into your chair. Utkatasana, chair pose. Another option for chair is always to put your arms at heart center. Okay, send those hips back. And then move around a little bit so you can see differently. Okay. Make sure you can see those big toes when you look down. Now let's bring those hands to heart center. Dive down into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees, circle sweep those arms up. Come up into your tall mountain. And on an exhale, we're going to twist, moving into a spinal twist on either side. Okay. Tighten up your legs. Keep your feet engaged. We're going to twist from our upper body. We're going to keep our abs and our belly facing forward. Take a few breaths. Now inhale, center. And exhale, twisting to the other side. Again, we're twisting from the upper body. We're keeping the lower body as stable as we can. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist opposite. Inhale, center. I really have to swoop around this light. Exhale, twist. I suppose I can move over just a little bit. Inhale, center. Exhale. Let's come into our chair Utkatasana. Awesome. Do a little bit of movement in that chair. Find those big toes. Make sure you can see those. You're sending that butt back. Maybe you go just slightly lower. Awesome. All right. Let's dive down into that forward fold. Now this time into that forward fold, we are going to move into ragdoll forward fold. So stay down in that forward fold, but this time you're going to grab the opposite elbow with the opposite wrist, okay? So you've kind of made this little picture frame right around your head. And then if you want, you're going to add some movement. So just like we did a second ago when we were moving in our spinal twist, all right, we've got that picture frame by our head. We're keeping our lower body really stable, and the movement in ragdoll is coming from our upper body. Make sure your feet are about hip distance apart, okay, just for stability. Let that neck release. Awesome. Now go ahead and let those arms release down to wherever they naturally fall. Inhale to that half lift. Again, shoulders away from the ears, belly pulled in. Let's go ahead and release those arms to the sky. All right, either palms to the sky or tops of your hands to the sky, bellies pulled in, and release into that forward fold. Now from here, let's bend our knees, circle sweep those arms up, find that tall mountain. Bring those hands through to heart center, Samastitihi. Awesome. Let's do a little more standing before we journey back to our chair, all right? All right, so we are going to start in our warrior two position, all right? So again, you can be on a mat right now, but if you've got carpet or a great floor that's stable for you, just go ahead and do that, all right? So we're going to start with one foot forward, the other foot back. Okay, I don't think you can see it. Maya, can you adjust for a second? Just so we can see how our feet are positioned. Mm-hmm. Thanks so much. All right, so we're in our warrior two, right? So we've got that front knee has a little bit of a bend in it. Okay, so it's either gonna be slightly behind that ankle or right over that ankle. That back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. If you have your mat, or you just know that foot is parallel. Okay, we're going to straighten up just a little bit so our head is over our heart, our shoulders are over our hips. Awesome. Sorry, I disappeared there. All right, now find those strong warrior arms, engage those out to the side. Gaze over that front middle finger. All right. Pull that belly in. Sometimes in warrior we lean too far forward or too far back, so just work to center yourself. Gaze over those front middle fingers. Spark those fingers to keep those arms alive. Awesome. And now let's flip that front palm and reverse that warrior, okay? We're just opening up that side body again. All right, letting that release. Gaze can go up towards your fingers in the sky, or down your back leg, okay? Or just neutral, whatever feels more comfortable. Now let's come on back to that warrior two. Let's straighten that front leg and reverse our triangle. Again, opening up that side body. And now let's come back to that warrior two. Moving into extended side angle, we're gonna reach, then let that front arm come down to that front thigh. Back arm can come up, straight up in the air. It can come over, so you have this line of energy from your fingertips down to those back toes. It can also come behind your back in a bind, okay? So just always be mindful of what your body needs. I'll just show you different options, all right? And what your body needs today. All right, now if you are bound, go ahead and become unbound, all right? So wherever your arm is. Now, really, we're gonna push into those feet as if we're splitting the mat apart. We're gonna pull that belly in, and we're gonna come on back to that warrior two. All right, we always wanna lift with those abs to protect that lower back. Now we're gonna move into a little bit of our rainbow, our glitter flow, all right, that I've learned from Adrienne, my favorite YouTube yoga person. So we're gonna reach forward like we're going to extended side angle, flip that palm, and as we come up, we're gonna straighten that front leg. And then we are gonna float back down. All right, so we reach. This is where I think it feels like glitter. You grab the glitter, you throw it over your head, big stretch, and then come back down. Again, reach, flip that palm. One of the gals in my chair yoga class, Kathy, had the picture of, when you throw on a really cold day, when you throw the water in the air and it freezes. And that's what it reminded me of too. All right, we're gonna do one more, just reaching, flipping that palm, coming up, straightening that leg, and coming back to that warrior two. Awesome, let's release those arms down, release those shoulders down. Let's straighten that front leg. Let's bring our toes to point out, okay? Heels in. Awesome, yeah, thank you, Meyer. I've been segmented, but there's sometimes it's more important to see certain parts, right? All right, so those toes are pointed out. Let's inhale those arms up high, and you'll see we're coming into that goddess pose. Goddess or horse. Okay, when you get into this pose, I always find I need to adjust myself a little bit, make sure my knees and feet are going in the same direction. All right, you can have your cactus arms. Now let's push up, inhale up into star, 5-pointed star. Exhale into goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Open that heart. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Now let's let those arms come down. And we are gonna flip. Well, we're not gonna really flip, but you can flip if you want to. We are gonna change directions on our warrior two, okay? So now our warrior two is gonna be facing that way. So those toes, you're facing the opposite direction. Your front toes, all right, facing that way. Check to make sure that your front heel is either aligned with your back heel or your back arch. This knee is over the ankle, all righty? Then find your warrior two, adjust your stance as needed. Awesome. Make sure you can see that front big toe, that your knee isn't caving in. Find those strong warrior arms. Now roll those wrists for a minute and let those arms float down. Roll the shoulders. Now, we are gonna just activate these arms and spark those fingers, okay? So as you inhale, sweep those arms up, activate every fiber in those hands, those arms, spark those fingers to make sure they're alive. Awesome. Now let's flip that front palm, reversing that warrior so we keep the bend in the front knee. We breathe and come on back to that warrior two. Now let's move into reverse triangle by straightening that front leg, opening up that same side body, gaze is up. And now we come back to warrior two. Moving into extended side angle, let's reach forward until we can't reach anymore, right? Then we let that front arm come down to that front thigh, back arm comes up, or comes all the way over, or is it a bind, all right? Awesome. Make sure that chest, that heart stays open in this pose and that we don't find ourselves folding down too much. We're staying open. All right, now push into your feet right now before we move as if you are splitting your mat, your carpet, whatever floor you are on, splitting it apart. Pull that belly in and let's lift ourselves up to that warrior two. Now let's move into that glitter flow, right? Where we reach forward, Flip that palm, throw the glitter as we straighten our arm and let that side body really open, almost into that peaceful warrior. And then come on back to that warrior two. We reach, flip that palm, bring that on up and over and back to our warrior two. Reach, flip, throw the glitter in the air. Come on back to that warrior two. We probably need some glitter right now, right? Although I don't think it's good for everybody. But flip that palm, straighten that leg, come on back. We can make our glitter in our mind. And one more, reach, flip that palm, come on back. And now find your warrior two. All right, now let's drop those arms, roll those shoulders. Let's again bring our feet to face forward, but let's again bring our toes out and our heels in, okay? Awesome, so you're pointing towards the corner of your mat, your room, wherever you are, all right? And we are gonna inhale to that 5-pointed star and exhale to that goddess. All right, now take just a moment in that goddess to adjust. And let's inhale to that 5-pointed star. Exhale to goddess. Now either continuing going between goddess and 5-pointed star, make sure you're tucking that belly in a little bit, or go into some lateral flexion, all right? So maybe you want to straighten that leg and that arm as you reach sideways. Awesome. So I sort of have a mirror because I have Myra across from me. He's my videographer. Would that be it? Is that a good title for you? And then he's mirroring me in the yoga poses. So it's kind of a funny thing, but I appreciate it. All right. Now either one more on each side, or if you're in goddess and star, we're all going to meet in that 5-pointed star. All right. Now let's release those hands down. Now go ahead and in the same position, switch your feet so they are parallel, okay? Or even slightly pigeon-toed. All right, awesome, okay? From here, we are just gonna move into a forward fold, a wide leg forward fold. If you want, there it is. If you want your block handy, you can use your block or books, whatever you want, all right? So you've got this nice wide stance. Your toes are either parallel or slightly in, all right? Now inhale up, and on the exhale, we're gonna hinge at the hips, folding forward, awesome, coming down into that forward fold. Letting those hands come down to the floor, to a block, okay? You can walk them through your legs, through your legs and let your head hang long. Some people really widen their stance in this position. Maybe they come down to their head comes down to the floor. All right. Now another option, especially when a chair is near, is that you can also use the chair, right, to get your wide leg forward fold. And you can let your hands walk down the chair. They can stay on the rungs of the chair, all right? We're really releasing the hamstrings in this pose, so continue to breathe. Maybe shake your head yes, shake your head no, just to release any tension. If you're shaking your head yes and no, always come back to yes, right? Seems not a good idea to leave on the no. All right, now if your hands are behind or have gone between your legs, maybe you've walked in between there, maybe you've got them in a bind, maybe you've got them down in your ankles, wherever you have them, go ahead and bring them underneath your face and just push yourself up a little bit, all right? So we're more in almost this half lift position. Now go ahead and let's put a good bend in those knees. Maybe you want to heel toe your feet in just a little bit, all right? Put a good size bend in those knees, and then let's just slowly, slowly roll up. One vertebrae at a time. And when you get up, let those shoulders come on back. Awesome. And from here, let's intentionally heel-toe those feet together, okay? Really using the toes, the arches, everything. All right? And we are just going to do a little bit of balance work. Here's another great spot for the chair, okay? I mentioned this yesterday in my flow class because when we have the chair, I think sometimes it lets us be a little more risky and try things because we have that extra stability, whether we really need it or not. But we are going to start with a little bit of a tree pose, okay? So, standing next to your chair, all right? Your standing leg, actually I'm going to reverse that. Your standing leg is the one that will be right next to your chair, okay? So, whichever side you want to start in is okay. As I have to wrestle my chair here a little bit. Kind of got stuck on the mat. All right, so we're a feet ground in. We're going to move into tree pose. So maybe we want to start with one hand here. The leg closest to the chair is our standing leg. All right, we are going to slowly open up this hip to the side, either keeping that big toe on the ground, or sometimes you have to find the right distance from your chair too. That's what mine's a little off today. There we go. Open that hip. Maybe you want to bring that up to your calf. Maybe you want to reach through and bring it all the way up. I'm slip sliding away. Okay? All right? Or you just want to keep it on the calf, or you want to keep that big toe on the ground. Now, their option, if you have a block with a balance pose, is you can bring your big toe to the block, all right, and that gets you open. So we're opening up this hip to the side. Now at this point, you can keep one hand on a chair, you can put one hand to your heart. Maybe you want to keep both hands at heart center. Maybe you want to grow your branches, all right? Find something in your house right now that can be your drishti, your focal point, okay, that lets you fuse your gaze on that, right? And sometimes we wiggle, sometimes sometimes I think we're more like weeping willows, right, than an oak tree. It depends. It's all good. And if you fall out of the tree just like a kid would do, you just get back in. Again, one hand can stay on the chair, both can be lifted. You can have your hands at your hips, your heart center. All right, let's release that down, bring that knee in, and just shake that out a little bit. All right, and we're going to move to the other side. All right, so whichever side you were on, switch to the other side to start your tree pose. Again, you can use your block if you wish. Standing leg is strong and powerful. Abs are pulled in. We gently open up this hip. All right, either keeping that big toe on the ground, on your calf, or you help it all the way up. All right, whichever you prefer. Pull that belly in, get this strong foundation. Now either keep one hand on the chair. Maybe you grow one branch with some pretty awesome spring buds, right? All right, maybe you grow both branches. Whichever you do, keep that belly pulled in, keep that core strong. Make sure if those shoulders have gone up, you let them come back down. Awesome, find that drishti, that focal point. Okay, and when you bring that foot in, we can put it any place. The only place we don't put it is on this knee joint. As folks know who are in my class, I'm always talking about our knees. We want to be particularly mindful and careful of our knees. All right, let's go ahead and close that knee off. Release that down, shake that out a little bit. All right, and our last balance pose is eagle, which we already prepped for in our warm-up, right? All right, so go ahead, your standing leg is near the chair. All right, now you have an option here. You can do eagle arms with chair legs. You can do eagle arms with hands on shoulders. Or you can experiment with full eagle. Another option is to take your book or your block, put it between the chair and your standing leg. Okay? So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So inhale those arms out. I should have prepped you on your next inhale. Inhale those arms out. Now let's go ahead and wrap your left arm under your right arm, okay? So you've twizzled your arms up, all right, or your arms are at your shoulders. So we've kind of got this eagle pose right now, and our elbows are lifted. Now, with eagle, we also get a bend in the knees, but we are going to start relieving the pressure off of this standing leg. The non-standing leg, okay? So if we want, then we go into full eagle by bringing that leg over, wrapping it around. Another option for full eagle is putting your toe on that block, right? So again, it maybe gives you a little stability whether you need it or not. Pull that belly in, keep that spine nice and long. My eagle feels like it's ready to fly away. And release out of that eagle. You have to have a good sense of humor with balance, right? All right, now let's come on over to the other side. Again, maybe you want to add that block right next to your chair. And again, options, we can, so your standing leg, you've got your chair, your block, your standing leg. This is the leg that's going to come up and over, all right? So when you're ready, inhale those arms out to this side, and this time your right arm is going to come under your left, okay? Or whichever side you're on. Whatever leg is coming up is whatever arm is wrapping, all right? So now we've got eagle arms, or we've got our hands on our shoulders, and let's go ahead, bring that leg up, and maybe you want to bring it to land on that block, okay? Awesome, thank you, Maya. So you've got your toe on that block. Maybe you wrap it up real tightly and you don't have it on the block, all right? Either way. Find your version of eagle. Pull that belly in, keep that spine nice and long, just for 3, 2, 1. Let's bend that knee. Release that out. Inhale all the way up to the sky, find that full length. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're gonna sweep our arms forward this time, just so we don't hit our chair, or for me, I guess I'm gonna hit the light. Exhale, regular chair. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's sweep those arms up and bring our hands through to heart center, Namaste. All right, and let's return to our chair for a little bit of a cool down. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for practicing with me. All right, let's go ahead and choose one leg to just kind of capture that leg. You can either grab it under the thigh, you can grab it on the shin, and let's just roll out that ankle. While you're doing that, let's keep this nice long spine going, okay? I realize I think the chair I'm on is a little slippery for today, but go ahead and roll out that ankle. Keep those shoulders down. Now switch, roll the other way. Now maybe a little pointing, a little flexing. All right, now last thing for our feet. Go ahead and squeeze those toes as tightly as you can. Squinch them up, as I say. And then release them and really try to find space between each toe. We talk about this in my chair yoga class. It is one of the hardest things to do, especially between that 3rd, 4th, and 5th toe. But we're trying to create muscles. Well, the muscles are there. We're trying to strengthen those muscles. All right, now let's go ahead with that same foot. And if it's comfortable for you, bring it over to cross into this figure 4 position. All right, if that is not comfortable for you, another option is to cross at the ankle. All right, either way. So if you're in this figure 4 position, or you're crossed at the ankle, keep this nice long spine. All right, now let's inhale those arms up high, And on an exhale, we're just gonna slowly fold forward, hinging at the hips, letting those arms come down to that front leg, letting that head come loose. Not too loose, it's still attached, but you know what I mean. Release any tension you might be holding in that neck. Continue to breathe. Now pull that belly into the spine and let's just slowly, slowly, slowly roll up. Awesome, let's release that leg down. Let's go ahead and do the same on the other side, rolling that opposite foot out one way and the other. Again, if you find yourself kind of curving in, that's not unusual, right? But find yourself thinking of this straight, long spine, like a marionette string from your tailbone all the way up to the top of your head. Your head is over your heart, right? All right, now let's go ahead and point and flex that foot. Fantastic. Now it's time for the toe squeeze. Go ahead and squinch up those toes, tense them as tightly as can be, and then release. And I know that for most of us, right, we can't see our toes. I can't see my toes. But really visualize finding that space, especially between those little toes. All right, now let's take that leg, bringing it up to cross into this figure 4. Okay, and you might notice that it feels different on one side than another. That's typical, right? Because we're dominant, we tend to be dominant on one side. If this isn't comfortable, go ahead and cross at the ankles. All right, let's again pull that belly into the spine, reach up, find all the length you have, and now we're just going to hinge at the hips, folding forward, letting that head come down to whatever level is comfortable for you. And just breathe. Awesome, now pull that belly into the spine as we slowly roll up. Let's go ahead and release that foot to the ground. We're still keeping this nice long spine. Go ahead and take one arm across the chest as you just gently press in. Now let's switch, taking the other arm across the chest, gently pressing in. And release that down. Now let's inhale those arms up. Find that length, and on an exhale, release them down. Roll those shoulders. Inhale those arms up. Exhale into cactus arms. Open that heart. Lift that gaze. And bring those hands to heart center, Namaste. All right, we often end our practice in this position, this Namaste position, which Namaste isn't, we often think of it as a prayer position, and it isn't a prayer position. It's not a westernized prayer as we think of prayer in the West. It is about acknowledging that I see the gifts, the beauty, the light that is within you. And we share these, and I see you, you see me, and together we're strong together, right? So the light in me is lifted by, honors, appreciates the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you everybody for coming out. I'm glad that you were able to join chair yoga. Give it a try, especially if you've never done it before. And like I said, there's so many great chair yoga poses that can be done at any time when you're seated any place. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have an awesome day, and stay well, stay healthy. Bye-bye.